right. Welcome to the Mailman Podcast. That's M-A-L-E man for men after legitimate estrogen-free masculine approaches to the nowadays. I'm your host, Dick Colin. And today, I think I got my volume on my phone a little too high, but just making sure everything works there. Awesome. So as the title suggests, today I'm going to be talking about some frustrations, and I don't know if they're lessons learned or not, but we'll get there, maybe. But definitely kicking the new year off right. So anyway, let's get into it. Ooh, Mailman Podcasts.
Mailman Podcast coming to you. M-A-L-E coming to you. Talking about man stuff on the internet. If you don't like it, you can go to hell. Mailman Podcast coming to you. M-A-L-E coming to you.
All right, so where to start for this year? But I guess to start the podcast off, if you're in the chat, hit me up. Let's talk it out. But yeah, so been trying to revamp everything here and get everything set up in a different kind of way, but kept running into a bunch of snags. So I've been using iMovie to do everything because it's just super quick and easy. And since it's updated, it's been dog slow, like, you know, DS slow, fill in the blank. I haven't reached that 10-minute mark yet. But yeah, so I tried everything, uninstalled, reinstalled, cleared cache, deleted all the render files, and like split up the file into smaller bits, and then it's just, it renders like while you're trying to edit, so you listen, you can hear the sound for about like 2 seconds, and then it goes blank, and like the video still plays but the sound cuts out, and it's like I kind of need that sound part. And I'm not 100%. I'm gonna test it tonight. I just came to a realization, but this is like weeks I've been trying to deal with this crap. And so because I want to be able to get the clips of these longer podcasts like every day, but if it's going to take me, you know, 30 minutes to do a 3-minute clip, that's unrealistic. It's not going to happen. So, and it's because I've been dealing with this stupid slow program, and then finally it just got way too slow. And so I went through all those stupid things, and nothing's working. It's just super slow. That being said, and today might just be like me ranting for like an hour, but we'll see. That being said, I went through finally like last night, and I looked at other programs that I could use for editing videos. So CapCut seems like it might not be for me, but I'll take a look at it a little bit better this weekend. Might be good for doing like the shorts, which I fucking hate. So if I can automate that, that'd be great. But I think that's probably not going to work for what I need it to do. But maybe I didn't really look at it too hard. But I also downloaded DaVinci Resolve, which when I did the YouTuber in Japan podcast, I was recommended that from him prior to that podcast. But you know, so now since before I couldn't download it, my computer was too old and just couldn't get it. And then now there's an app, because everything's app based on Mac. I hate it, terrible. But so I downloaded it, and then I go to upload the file. And meanwhile, this is like from the beginning of the year, I've been going through this crap. Like it was slowing down before that, but it just got unbearable at the beginning of the year here. And so I'm like, screw it, I'm gonna try another program, learn how to use that, and do that. And then I download DaVinci Resolve, and I try to upload the file, and it accepts MP4s, but not the MP4 that I have. So, yeah, that's super frustrating. So there's, gonna have to deal with that. But I'll figure it out. So that's just kind of leading into the, like reviewing, your week, your month, or whatever I think is useful. And then working out like how are you overcoming those obstacles. So I'd say looking back at this one, there's a couple of things that I need to try out. So I need to try out the now that I've got VLC, so I can change it to the H.264 MP3 version of MP4 or something like that. And I'm gonna work on that one. And it took like the length of the video's time to be able to render that and switch it over, but it's done now. And so I'm gonna try that first on iMovie and see if that was the problem. Maybe it updated and now it doesn't like the old version of MP4s. So I just have to switch it over to better version maybe. So I'm gonna try that first, and if it does still real slow, then I'm gonna try DaVinci Resolve and see how that works. But as far as like looking back and reflecting on this frustration here, is I think I let it go on for too long. I think I didn't want to change, or I didn't even want to consider changing. So this went on longer than it really needed to. I probably should have started looking into this. I mean, probably like a year ago, I probably should have started looking into this. Because by now I'd be pretty confident and proficient in DaVinci Resolve or whatever other program that I end up using. Good thing about DaVinci is if I can get it to work, or if just switching over the file and it makes iMovie usable again, then that would be great, because then I can still do everything on iMovie for now and then mess around with DaVinci Resolve. So I think that probably should have been that's probably what I should have done. I should have just gone ahead and downloaded DaVinci Resolve, because it's free anyway, for like the basic stuff. The things that I need, I don't need much at the moment. And then just started trying to use it. So by this time, I would have been probably using it completely. Excuse me. But by this time, but I didn't do that. So I'm a creature of old habits. Is that the phrase? And yeah, so it's hard to make those changes. But I notice now, I'm looking at it, I'm working on making those changes. So I think that's like the main thing. Lesson learned is when I start getting frustrated with it, as soon as I notice that, I need to evaluate that a little closer and see if it's something maybe I should preemptively look into, making some adjustments and looking into other avenues. And then if there aren't any other avenues, or it still works, then no harm, no foul. But I have those other options. And I thought about this today. I almost didn't make it because I was so hungry. And it's been so busy last month and this month at work. And I had to eat something. So and then I forgot that I didn't make a thumbnail, so I had to do all that. And but only 15 minutes late, so that's fine. But in today, I made a connection with that looking back and because when I was teaching, I would because I would bounce around to different schools and get to meet different students consistently. So you're meeting people for the first time, so there are a lot of things that you can't really come out of the gate with when you're meeting them for the first time. You got to build that rapport, and you got to do it quick. Um, so I got on this idea of whatever tools that I found that worked like consistently. I would try not to use those ever again if possible. So that basically would force me to try something new, and then okay, that one works too, great, and then try not to use that one again. And the theory is the further I went along trying to teach, and as I would come across different obstacles with that, then I could try this new thing out, and if it didn't work, then I knew I had a tool in the toolbox that would, because it's already tried and true tested. So that's a strategy. I think that's the connection I made today. Is I should have gone back and just tried this other program out first, and just kind of in the background, on the weekends or something. And then if once I got to this point last month where now I can't even functionally use iMovie, it's just taking too long, it's too slow rendering, I would have had that other tool in the toolbox to be able to use. So that's the moral of that story is, just like my teacher days, if it works, great. It works, put it back in the toolbox, find a new tool, and see what else works. And then once you consistently get a success rate with it, then put it in the toolbox, carve out another tool. And I think that I'm going to listen to that, that theory and advice that I had for myself before, and get into it. Looks like we got somebody else in the chat. Hit me up. We'll talk about it. I'm talking about my frustrations for the beginning of the year up till now. And, trying to edit these videos, and the programs are being really slow. And then I finally get the new program, realize it can't take MP4s, at least that version. I didn't realize there was more than one MP4, but apparently there are. So now I've got to use a different program to switch it over to the new version of MP4. So it works in a new program. But I should have done this like a year ago when I was already, getting a little frustrated, because now as the months have gone on, updates for iMovie, it has now gotten dirt slow and I can't even use it. But yeah, that was time back to my teaching days where developing new tools. So that's it. So you can carve out a tool, it works, put it in a toolbox, carve out another tool, and rinse and repeat. And then when you carve out a tool and it's useless, it sucks, toss it into the maybe later toolbox. Don't throw it away. It might be useful in a different situation. And pull out one of the tools works. And then next time, try to carve a new tool. And then just remember, those tools that you threw in that maybe box, they might not be as useless as you think. You can certainly find some kind of purpose for it. So it's it's kind of like I'd say I think it's arguably or you could argue that like a quarter is not really that useful. Well, let's go with a dime, right? You're not really gonna do anything with that, right? But you can use it on a screw, repurpose it. Now it's useless essentially, or penny, maybe even go back that far. But you can use it as a tool. So yeah, that was one of the frustrating things that came up for me, that I'm gonna have to start working through now. But I got that path, so here we are. Now, the other thing I think was kind of impatience and trying to save money and getting frustrated with. We had a business trip I was supposed to go to New York, and then the weather came in and it froze everything out, so we got like 2 inches of like just ice. And it's frustrating because we had all this planned. Now I got to contact everybody and like hope that the hotel's going to give us all our money back, because we're renting not just a room to sleep in, but the boardroom. So we want to be able to see what we can do with that. Probably going to be paying half of that amount. Luckily, they were awesome and gave us all the money back, except for this is a lesson learned. Don't digital check in when your flights are possibly going to get canceled, because that was the one thing they couldn't refund because I had already digitally checked in. So lesson learned there. But the other thing is, I was frustrated with that because this is the second time in a row for New York specifically where I wasn't able to make it and had to go through this. So that was I was frustrated with that, and so I have to take my dog to it's not a kennel, but it's, it's somebody's house. That's a dog trainer, so they also have a kennel there. But basically, it's just in the house. So I like that a lot better. I'm thirsty. And so I'd taken the dog there, and then I go to the airport, and then as soon as I get through security, I get the message your flight's been canceled. All the way up to that point, it's like everything's green light. No, it possibly might get canceled. It might get moved. No, do you want to change your flight? None of that stuff up to that point. There's flights in the air, like, so, I'm like, it's probably fine. And then like as soon as I go through security, it's like flights canceled, like completely, and there's no more flights like at all until 6 p.m. Like that's the earliest one I can get the next day, not that day. And so I'm like, well, shit, now my like, well, I don't want to pay for that extra day with the dog. And it had been sunny, so the roads had been cleared up quite a bit. And so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take the truck and go get my dog. Driving there, totally fine. There's as I got closer, like on the highway, totally clear. And then as I got closer, there's a lot more snow and things, and I slid like just a little, and I'm like, okay, it's this area is kind of thick with the snow, well, ice basically. But I was like, I was just in this area, it should be fine. And then so I get my dog, get back on the road, and going back, I'm on the highway, and I'm like, yeah, that's good. And then had to have hit black ice or whatever. I don't even know. I didn't see it at all. Didn't know what it was. And, truck just goes right out. There's no correcting it. I did turn in just enough to where it did a full 180. And then it kind of just started going backwards. So I'm just like sliding, everything's perfect because I'm like parallel to the wall, but I'm going towards it. It's like, it's going to happen. And then, I see there's like traffic coming towards me. And then, so I slide right in, just hits the back end of the bumper on there, but it was kind of like just, bumped me to stop essentially, which was, way better than it could have been. But that was kind of like a lesson learned. I absolutely could have, just waited to, till the next day, pay that extra amount for, the dog sitting and not have had to deal with that. Because that freaking blew. I'm on the highway and spinning around in the truck, but it's luckily I was able to like just get kind of parallel and just nick the side wall there. The wall didn't even budge. Like there's like a tiny little scrape on the wall, so I didn't hit it that hard, but it was enough. So there was that. That's kind of like one of the. So I guess things are happening in threes or whatever, but so that sucked. But got home all safe and sound, and then then I was trying to watch Superman because I needed to do I need to do the review on that, and I still have not finished that retarded movie. It is so bad, I can't get through it. It's but I got to do it. I got to get this review done. It is. I think at this point, it is the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. And I'm talking about the James Gunn Superman movie. It is so dumb. Nothing makes sense. Like there's way too many characters. There's there's no tension at all. Like the whole scene where they're in the pocket universe. I don't even know why that happened. Like, and then I don't know why Lois Lane and Mr. Terrific, I think that's who it is, with the balls. he like I don't know why they were in the pocket universe. Superman got out of there without their help. So I, I don't understand why they even went there. So that's I don't know. It's so dumb. And there's the uh, the stupid ass rocket octopus man, like with his man baby Grogu creepy child. I don't know what's going on. That movie's so dumb. I still got 57 minutes left in that movie and 10 pages of notes already. Yeah, holy shit. Wait, no, 51 minutes. Sorry, be accurate on that. But yeah, holy shit. Hit me up in the chat if you've seen that movie. Like, it's every second gets worse in that movie. It's like I can't. That's my weekend. I gotta get through that movie so I can do the review on it. Hate my life. It's so terrible. But so that that's a frustrating thing. But I guess on that one, it's I need to get something done. So looking back at it, it's like I gotta watch it, and it's the good. I think the good thing that came out of it is it did get me thinking about the longer reviews and how I was going to do that, and I think I figured it out with that. So it bittersweet. Bitter, obviously the movie is fucking terrible. The sweet is I'm gonna have a regular review, which I think is gonna be pretty funny, and then the longer review, which is gonna allow me to do that without getting copyright struck, which is the other one. I got hit with that early on, and it was like a hard one. So yeah, that was I learned a lot in that process as well. But now I got a strike, so I gotta fight that one, and don't want to go through that. But I guess that's part of the journey, being a YouTuber. So we'll see. Yeah, so whole lot of things going on. Yeah, I've been super busy at work and trying to get this stuff done. The other thing that kind of came up was like working. I've got the Elgato Stream Deck now, and I'm trying to learn how to use that thing. And thankfully, that's been really easy to use. But now I'm like, because I have it, it's changed a lot of the things that I want to do. So now I'm got more ideas, which is bad for me because I can't stop those. they just keep going. So that kind of goes into how do you handle those? So like kind of maybe explain what that's like. So it's like channel surfing, but yeah, you're not in control. You're just consistently one thought after the other, and it's really hard to like focus on something. So oftentimes someone will be talking to me and I'm just like zoning out thinking about something stupid, like and that's it's really hard to be able to function when it comes to like doing your own stuff, because at work you've got tasks and deadlines and things, and then so that keeps you on track and keeps you focused on things that need to be get done. So once again, looking back at my teaching experience, so I was really successful at work stuff and not at home, so I wasn't being productive. This is kind of like the beginning of getting online, getting YouTube started, and doing reviews. Hard on reviews. Check out the channel, just like it sounds. Shout out. That's the other channel. Basically, I looked at it and I was like, okay, what's the difference here? Why am I successful at work and not successful with getting anything done at home? I mean, this is like chores are falling behind. I got all these crazy ideas, and by the time I sit down to think about how to actually implement that, I've thought about a new awesome idea, and now I'm over here. And then next thing you know, I've got 15, and then out of those 15 come another 15 each, and then it just keeps like spiraling out of control. So I was like, all right, I need to figure this out. So I looked at why work was so functional. In I had a planner and all these things in calendar, and I would work always had a task. So, and but it wasn't like somebody else giving me those tasks. So I'm the manager, so I've got to make things happen, and get in contact with people and all that stuff. So I would actually just schedule these things as far in advance as I could, and then all I had to do was the thing that was scheduled. So I would just kind of fill my schedule, and then great thing about Japan is they have these erasable pens that actually erase. So as things would change, it was really easy. I just erase it, move it to another whatever date later on. So if I didn't complete the task, great, I just move it over to the next week or next day. It was a really good system. So I consistently got things done. I was able to contact and get out to all the different locations where I don't think other people were as successful getting out to everybody as I was. I mean, I was just in a rhythm with this. And so I looked at it and I was like, okay, well, maybe that's the key here. I know what I need to get done. So I bought the same exact planner for home, and I just kind of copy pasted, and I started looking at the things that I needed to do, and then I started putting them down, and then not getting them done, and then realizing, okay, well, that's not working. So then I started looking at I was like, okay, is it really something I need to do? Because if it's not, then why is it even on my things to do? And eventually I started narrowing it down to things I absolutely needed to get done. And just from organizing it and scheduling it, I started to be able to get things accomplished. So the chores were getting done. I sat down and here laid out the YouTube channel, and how am I going to do that? That spawned into the hard on reviews as it is now. So check that out. That's a reviews on movies, television, music, and other things. So that's the other channel that I'm doing. But in that, I was also able to organize the other things I want to talk about, which spawned into this, the Mailman podcast. Jesus. I have to hear myself now because the last two podcasts, the sound would cut out every once in a while because I'd moved my head too much to the right or something. But yeah, so that's certainly something that is useful. Is maybe you're successful in your work life, not successful in your home life, or the opposite, whatever it is. Just take a look. Why is that? Is it because somebody else is giving you the tasks? Is it because you're organizing your tasks and scheduling them out like the way that I did? And then take that and just put it into the other half of your life there. And I think you're going to make some traction, as I did. Now, unfortunately, now that I'm here, I had to make some adjustments, and this year's, or the first year that I was here, is kind of like I just got to get settled in, and I was sticking to the old plan that worked while I was in Japan, and then now looking back at last year, this podcast last month, but last month was the catalyst for me to be like, okay, I need to review my year and take a look at it. So obviously I'm in a different place, which means there's going to be different necessities. So I guess that's the lesson learned there is you've got to review your previous week, previous month, previous day, previous year, whatever it is, and reevaluate, reassess, cut out things that aren't useful or aren't necessities, because there's things that you want to do, but here, this is going to lead me into the next one, which is know when you're not capable or willing, or you're just maybe not smart enough in the sense of the thing I'm about to talk about. Just know that that's the case. Know when you're done. I think it's really important. So that's one of the chapters in the book that's getting work done. And but it's just know when you're done. And in that case, you're stopping that to do something else. It's moving on. So I saw this thing about not moving. They didn't say moving on. They said getting over some kind of pain or something like that. But basically, it's like moving on. And I started thinking about that as like, you know, we think about like moving on as like getting over this pain or something, like whether it's a relationship or somebody passes away, or whatever the case is. But it's really just moving on to the next task is kind of like the mindset that you really need to have, because relationships, I think, is like a really great example of that. So if you get out, if you get fired from your relationship, get dumped, you're gonna feel like shit. But the one thing that makes you feel better is when you get either a new relationship, or you find another task, like a new hobby or something, or new skill that all of a sudden you're getting into. You got to get distracted. You got to get to the next task, and that goes for everything. So whatever it is, moving on isn't forgetting about the thing or letting it go. That's what it was. Let it go. No, that's not what you're doing. You're moving on to the next task. That's how you got to think about it. You can't think about it like as in letting go, because that's not the thing you need to do. The thing you need to do is know when you're done and move on to the next task. What do you got to do next? So that leads me into the like stocks and things. So I didn't realize, maybe I'm wrong, but when I did the research on this, if you had stocks and things before you move overseas, you can invest and you can keep those because you already had it beforehand. Now, if you're overseas and you're not getting paid from American dollars, you're getting paid from an overseas company, like in my case, Japan, then you can't you can't open a new account for stocks. You have to have it already open. Something with American doesn't like it or something. So at the time, like I was trying to open Fidelity or whatever, any of those, Schwab and all those, and you just can't do it because you don't have assets or payment coming from the US. So that was kind of frustrating. So now that I'm back, I'm like, I'm like a 40-year-old boy. I need to invest some money. So, I started doing that, got the IRA started, what little bit I could at the time, because I'm moving, I got to pay for all that too. And then, so, that's pretty easy. You put money in and it kind of does its thing. The S&P 500 or whatever. But the other part, just like individual stocks and trades and stuff like that, I don't know what the hell's going on. Like, I can barely count. Like, and that seems real stressful. Like, I don't have that kind of time. I'm over here working on a iMovie program that's it takes me 30 minutes to edit a 2-minute clip, which shouldn't take that long. Should take me about 10 minutes. And I don't have that time. I gotta get shit done, man. So I'm relying on somebody that does have time. So I've realized that I'm done. I don't have the drive to figure that out. But I want to take advantage of it. So listen to other people. Now, this could be you're done. Listen to somebody on YouTube, or somebody in the field, or talking to a friend or something like that. Ask for help, I think, is what I'm getting at here. And somebody that does have time to do this stuff is my niece, who just started college. Congratulations. But yeah, it's I got to take that hit. Take the ego hit. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And so that's know when you're done, and if you can outsource it, do so. Ask for help, and if you can't, then just be done with it and move to the next task. You're not letting go, you're not moving on, you're just starting a new task. That's all. So 2 lessons there. Ask for help. If you can't get it, then start a new task. Get something else started. But yeah, so it's been a balls to the wall, hell of a week, hell of a month. But I'm here. I made it. Surprisingly, I had to skip 2 weeks because just too much stuff going on, and I'm glad that I was able to get this started. Even though I didn't necessarily have too much to talk about, but I definitely was looking back and reflecting and trying to figure out what the next step needs to be here. And I'm on it. I'm taking those steps, and hopefully that's useful for anybody out there. And you know, wherever you are, however bad it gets, as long as you're alive, there's a way out. But that's the rub. You got to be alive. So don't let your meatloaf.
Mailman podcast coming to you. Emily man coming to you. Talking about Minister on the internet. If you don't like it, you can go to hell. Mailman podcast coming to you.